Hey guys, Joseph, ABC Sewing Machines. Today I wanted to show you just a couple of the functions on the DDL-9000C. There's a lot of new little things that really, I don't know, it adds character to a machine. And the first one is when I have the machine on, if I push back on the pedal to lift up my foot, normally on the other single needle machines, you only have one height that you can have this adjusted to. So if I push down the foot backwards halfway, it lifts up the foot at my first stage. If I depress it all the way, it goes up to my second stage. So it's a good way to kind of have, more of a flexible, means to kind of sew the different fabrics that you're going with. Let's say you start something thin and then you have to jump up. You're able to go ahead and use those two staggered steps on the presser foot. Okay. The next I want to show you is right here above the needle. This is your thread clamping system. Okay, so normally what this is allowing you to do is actually starting a stitch with very, very little thread hanging outside the needle. Okay, so normally you would need at least about 1 inch of thread outside the needle after the cut for it to catch on the next cycle. Okay, if it's shorter than that inch, you have the thread that pulls out, you have to rethread it one more time. But this thread clamp allows the machine to stitch even with a very short tail. And what that's going to allow you to do is not have this long thread on your first stitch that you're gonna have to cut off or snip later down the line. Okay. Another function of this thread clamp is the cutting function. Okay, so after it cuts, it gives you a very, very short tail after the cut. Normally it's about 1/4 inch long that you would have to come and snip, but it's a lot more cleaner look, definitely passable just to present it just as is without trimming it any further. Okay, so the thread clamp allows you to really minimize the look or the bird's nesting look or the long threads when you're sewing. This is replacing the wiper system that you normally see on most industrial sewing machines. Okay, the next one is going to be these two buttons right here. Okay, we have our standard reverse button. While I'm sewing, if I push the button, it'll go in reverse. Let it go, it'll go forward. Okay, you're able to toggle this down to kind of have a more easy, accessible button, or swing this out of the way to get it, just out of the sewing way, more room for your hands. Okay, so you can swing this down by pushing in and locking it down. Start sewing, easily accessible. Okay, and then cut. Swing this out of the way when you no longer need it. Okay, and I would say the most or my favorite function is going to be this button right here. Okay, this top one. This is a changeover button. Okay, now the cool thing about this button is I have a design currently set for lightweight fabrics. Okay, if I toggle this button, I could toggle this at any time during sewing. If I toggle this, you can see the screen will highlight a green border. Okay, what this border is doing is you can have a second set of settings within a program. So let's say, for example, if you're hemming some jeans, you're sewing this thinner portion, and right here normally it gets stuck. So if I have a design programmed to stitch here, and once I reach this seam where normally it gets stuck, you have to kind of push the fabric to the back, I can go ahead and set in the green mode, in the changeover mode, a better setting, a better stitch length, a better tension, pressure on the foot, specifically for that one section. Once I finish that thicker section, I could just toggle back and go back to my regular sewing once you finish that little seam. Okay, so we're going to kind of dabble into that a little bit. So right now I have a program set for lightweight. I'm going to go ahead and push the changeover button. These are the functions that I can change when we're in that changeover state. The tension, let's say, for example, if I wanted to do something heavier, I'm going to push that button right there and increase the tension because we're going through some heavier stuff now. Okay, so you can increase the tension of your needle. We can make the stitches a little bit longer because if you're going through a higher hump, you want it to be the same length stitch from going on your flat surface and going at an incline. Okay, so we could slightly bring that up a little bit. just so it's even stitches going up the hill and going across. Okay, the pressure of the foot, two things on this one. Technically, you don't need more pressure on the foot because it's just going to be harder to get over that little hump. So in that case, we can lower the pressure. Lower the pressure so it's easier for the foot to travel up over that hump and not have to worry about squishing the fabric in there or your stitches becoming very, very dense when the foot struggles to kind of pass that hurdle. Okay, so we lighten up the foot tension. And let's say since we're going through something heavy, we could go ahead and lower the speed. Okay, it's set at 2,500. We could just go to 1,000. So whenever you go into that changeover state, it will slow down. It, obviously you don't want it to, just cycle right on through the heavier portion. Okay, my favorite one is right here, the feed dog. Since we're going through heavier things, we could change the stroke of the feed dog to the heavy stroke only during that changeover function. Okay, same thing. We want more contact with the feed dog. We could have this raised up so it grabs more of the fabric and kicks it back. So during this changeover setting, my machine is set up for light. And let's say, for example, if I have this hurdle or the seam that we're going over, okay, right before we get to that seam, we could go ahead and change it over. It'll automatically change all the settings that we did more for heavier things, change the feed dog stroke, and once we finish, we could just change back and it'll go back to lightweight. This is probably one of my favorite functions on this machine because it not only do you have a whole arsenal of different programs that you could save for different jobs, but you can even take it one step further, and because every job is not the same. I can't say we're sewing on 2 plies of fabric every single time. So this changeover function really, really expands the options that you have and the versatility that you have when utilizing this the new 9000C series. Okay, so hopefully this helps. Just wanted to touch over a couple of the main functions, the highlights of the machine, to kind of see if it, how much easier your projects can be if it's fine-tuned for that certain job. Okay, hope this helped, guys.